Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, September 13th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol EGIO. Big mover today, and now a good solid pattern here has formed. So as I draw this pattern, please understand I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply this is a great discovery or anything like that. A lot of people have noticed this pattern, and I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very nice movement. So let's get this pattern here drawn into play. So the top part of the pattern, we have the resistance trend line right there, and then next part of the pattern we have right there. Let me change that to green to represent support. And then to make the pattern easier to see, let me just keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big explosive move right there. And then if you golfers out there try to make it a little bit more visual for you, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. There are no guarantees. However, it's more than plausible, more than reasonable to think that if the price can come up here and get the break through that level right there, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure. So if you like this price range down below $5, you like bull pennants, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, OBLG. And overall, as I speak right now, nice final 30 minutes. You can see that candle is good, solid green and trying to push new highs. So as I speak right now, the price is very close to knocking on the key door here of resistance, which sits up there at $6.30. I realize the price did technically go above it once, but then you had these two data points right there. So in my mind, $6.30 is the key level, and with a high volume break of $6.30, again, there are no guarantees, but I think it's more than reasonable to think that high volume break of $6.30 could create a break right there. And look at that as I speak. That's why I like to do these when the markets are open. The price has broken up through that level. Now, whether or not it stays above there, that remains to be seen. But the good news is this is some great action. So really at the core, the question becomes, is all this action the start of something even bigger? Which is always a very exciting question to ask, because think about that question. If nothing exciting is even happening, then it makes no sense to say, oh, wow, is this the start of something bigger? Well, because nothing's occurring. But there is something happening here. So yeah, is this all the start of something bigger? Definitely an interesting question to be able to ask. And then just from a support standpoint, if you like to play pullbacks, have a nice solid trend line right there to keep an eye on for you pullback players. But yeah, like I said, as I speak right now, the breakout is underway. So let's see if this is indeed the start of something much bigger. Next one here, NIO. Rough day today, especially with that opening 30 minutes. Slight gap down, but yeah, then the first 30 minutes of the day, just a huge flush. With that being said, though, the price has started to recover nicely, and instead of me just saying recover, it's much easier to visualize that. That's why I like charts. They allow you to take words and then visualize them. So I'm saying recover, and here we go. That's what I mean by recover. So let me change that to green for support. Keep an eye on that trend line, and as long as the price is remaining above that trend line, then the quote-unquote recovery is underway. So that's just a very straightforward way to just gauge the situation right now. Where yes, it was very nasty, but the price has started to bounce upwards, show some recovery. So let's see if the price can stay above that green line right there. In terms of levels of resistance, main battleground to watch now moving forward, right up there, that purple line, 50 paired moving average, right now valued at $5.41. But in my opinion, at least the most important dynamic is all about the recovery and seeing if the price can indeed stay above that trend line. Next one, PLTR, and overall, not a whole lot to update other than the fact that this general area right up here at 35.20 certainly is a very stubborn level. And I say general area because, yeah, it's by no means perfect. You can see right there the price did get rejected. Here are some slight movements above it, and then you can see a little bit more above it, and then right here, slight movements not quite hitting it. So more of the story here, right around 35.20, certainly has been confirmed as a key level to watch moving forward. But on the bright side of things, these lows just keep getting higher and higher. Even when you look back here, you can see that low and then that low and then even these lows right here. So there is this nice little stair-step pattern progressing upwards. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. At the same time, the price is putting in those higher lows. That 35.20 mark is sure being very, very annoying. But the good news is that the price is closing very closely to that level. So it's well within striking distance to potentially push through there again. Now, just because it's within striking distance doesn't mean the price will actually be able to break through it, but it makes a whole lot more sense. Case in point, if the price was down here and I'm talking about, oh, it's looking like it could break 35.20, you'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? I mean, let's just first see if the price can even go all the way up there to get to that level. But in this situation, like I said, already very close. So that's the big question mark I think on a lot of people's mind is, can the price break through 35.20 and then get a true breakout of that level? Next one, NVDA, the upwards move continues, has gotten through that pink line right there. Honestly, I thought that pink line would put up a little bit more of a fight than what it did, but I'm sure the bulls are not complaining about the lack of fight that 200 period moving average put up. So I'll just go ahead and get rid of that level. And now moving forward, the ideal level of support, meaning, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest and healthiest moving forward? That would be if the price can now stay above that pink line there, 200 period moving average, just based on the foundational rule that when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So yeah, moving forward, right there around 116.70 is going to be that ideal level. Now, from the big picture standpoint, don't get me wrong, it's not like if the price falls below that pink line, then that means the chart's epically destroyed or anything like that. That is where the purple line, though, would come into play, the 50 period moving average. So as time goes by, that line will move itself higher and higher. And from an overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that line as the line itself moves higher and higher, then the overall trend plenty in the bull's favor. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to overcomplicate this. Just ask a simple question: where did the party finally stop today? And that was up there at $120.80. So that, like I said, no fancy rationale other than that right there. So keep an eye on 120.80. But all in all, as long as this thing keeps on putting those higher lows like it's been doing the past several days, that's what matters most. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for my free live online webinar that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage you can use to sign up. Now, one special note, it is a genuine live event. So a couple things, maybe you already have something on your schedule this evening, or maybe you're watching this Friday morning and you totally missed it. That is okay. It will be recorded, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the recording. So just drop me an email to clay@claytrader.com. Like I said, I'll email that to you. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up, and I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next one here, ticker symbol PLCE. Did this one yesterday, talked about this bull pennant pattern, and I mean, just you could throw this run right into a textbook if you wanted to. Got the break right there, and then boom, very nice. And now we essentially have a case of deja vu, so let me just delete that pattern out of there, because we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So let me just get this newest one drawn into place here. So there's our resistance. Let me try that again. There we go. Just want to incorporate that previous high right there. There's the bottom part of the pattern. And then just to make it easier to see, once again, resistance, support, nice upwards move, golf hole down here. So again, another bull pennant pattern. So at the end of the day, if you like bull pennants, if you like stocks that seemingly have a nice strong trend to them, definitely keep an eye on it. My one, I'm not going to say do or die or massive red flag, but volume has certainly dropped off quite a bit. Again, that's nothing to necessarily create all sorts of panic, but you got to kind of wonder, is interest running out? Is there going to be enough power to get another breakout to the upside? Very well could be. Who knows? Maybe the volume returns on Friday, but just something to point out and keep in mind. Next one, SMFL, and I like this one quite a bit because it now makes sense to ask a question, and this question, if true, could very well lead to some good solid gains. But the question revolves around the fact that this thing made a great move, came up here, some poor souls bought right there, and then a nasty, nasty move. And at these moments, it becomes very valid to throw out the question, was this just a pump and dump? Was this just some sort of gap and trap? And got our answer, and as of right now, seemingly no, because the price has leveled off here. Now, let me be very clear, just because there's a big move up and then a massive move down and then the price goes sideways does not mean for sure guaranteed because it went sideways that's the bottom and it's going to for sure guaranteed turn around. But it makes a whole lot more sense. If the price was just dropping, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom, you'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? The price is literally just dropping. But that's not the case here. It's gone sideways, and then as I speak right now, you can see very, very nice last 30 minutes. So let's get the key level here from a breakout standpoint mapped out. Sits right there at the $1.21 mark, and that was just a former area of support right there. And you can see classic example of support now acting as resistance both there and essentially right there. But overall, interesting situation. A lot of people like these, myself included. I always find it interesting When you get the big moves up, you get the big move down, and then it becomes a question of, uh-oh, is this beginning of the end? And then the price goes sideways. So yeah, if you like these, and if you're thinking this thing's got any sort of potential at all to curl back upwards, and you like this price range, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this is one where I'm just going to call this self-fulfilling prophecy one, because let me really reiterate, I said this earlier, but me drawing this trend line right here is not me trying to impress you, not me trying to imply that's a great discovery or special skill. None of those. It is something that you got to think a ton of people have drawn. And given that Tesla is sort of a well-known stock, maybe you've heard of it before, you got to think that you have a ton of people watching this, ton of people with that trend line. So while all that still does not guarantee anything, it does make it that much more credible and reasonable that if the price is able to come up here and push through that level, that break in and of itself could create another round of upwards buying pressure. And as far as I'm concerned with Tesla, it's really that straightforward. When you get that beautiful of a trend line, that kind of obvious of a trend line, it just makes that much more sense to think that you don't need to overcomplicate it. So let's see if Tesla can break up through that level or not. Next one, GV, and this is one where I'm not going to call it a total train wreck, but yeah, it is starting to get a little iffy here. I mean, you had this beautiful, beautiful surge, and then spent basically late morning and the rest of the day heading downwards. But then what makes this interesting is check out the last 30 minutes. Big pullback, but again, the context of the pullback is this was after a very strong move, which is important because we now have data that says, I mean, this thing can move and it can move very quickly. That's not to say it'll do it again, but we do know that the stock has the ability to operate in a way that, from a trading standpoint at least, can be very, very profitable. And now with that, kind of in the backdrop, and now seeing this last 30 minutes right here, again, we get to ask that exciting question. Is this the start of something bigger? Is this the leading indicator of another nice move back to the upside? So if you like this sort of price range and you like, and now don't get me wrong, this thing is very volatile. This thing went up multiple dollars in basically an hour and a half. So if you don't like volatility, then stay away. But if you do, and you like to be able to throw out the question of, okay, starting to show signs of strength, coming back to life, is this life going to lead to more momentum and maybe a repeat of of today? Then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, TQQQ, and another good solid day on this one after looking a little rough this morning. Price recovered nicely. I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of that and bring this out here so we can just kind of focus and see where these next potential areas of resistance are. And the next level, okay, wow. All right, let's try that again. The next level to keep an eye on is going to be that trend line right there. So notice this clump attached to that clump. Amazing job of forecasting where that area of resistance was, and that's not to pat myself on the back, but that's definitely to pat charts on the back, and I'll turn that into a quick plug. Definitely go get signed up for that free webinar because charts are a great tool to incorporate within your trading. But from an overarching standpoint, yes, public enemy number one moving forward. From the technical standpoint, all about that resistance line right there. If there is any sort of pullback, then preferably speaking, you want to see the price stay above that pink line right there. 200 period moving average right now valued right around $64.95. But from the overarching standpoint, as I've already talked about in a couple past ones, just watch that purple line there, 50 period moving average. As that line moves higher and higher, if you want to just envision that as a trend line that's drawing itself for you. So in other words, as long as the price stays above that quote-unquote trend line, the overall trend is still plenty in the bull's favor. But yeah, grab your popcorn and let's see if the price can break above that resistance trend line or not on Friday. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but again, for you stock traders out there, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool and why it is so powerful, then definitely go get signed up for the free live webinar. It'll be this evening, Thursday, September 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. But again, if you can't make it live for whatever reason, go ahead, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here, I'm now using the 4-hour time frame, so each one of these candlesticks, instead of representing 30 minutes, represents 4 hours, and that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7. So in order for this video and analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible, I just like to use a longer time frame here and then just walk through some key questions. So last time I did this analysis about 24 hours ago, was talking about that resistance trend line right there, and you can see that as I speak right now, the breakout of that line has occurred. With that being said, I wouldn't get too excited about it because it seems as though the problem every time the price breaks above that level right there is this area of resistance right at that level, which does make sense because if you go back through the history of the chart, you can see that this area right there at 58,600 has acted as resistance before. So that'll be question number one when you watch this. Let's just say you're watching this video 20 hours after I upload it. Where is the price at relative to 58,600? 600, which again is the value of that red line. If in any way, shape, or form you're saying the price is above that level, that is a good thing. That is a very bullish thing, because that's telling you it has broken up through this area that it struggled with before. So again, any answers above that area, that is a good bullish thing. How good of a bullish thing? We'll let common sense guide you in that regard. Right there, again, that's good. If the price is all the way up here, well, that would be telling you that the breakout has been just that much more powerful. Now, if you're answering the question that the price is still down below that red line, next question would be, okay, well, where's the price at relative to 55,700? And as long as you're answering the question that the price is above there, then as far as I'm concerned, everything is fine. That would just imply that the price is still just chopping around in this area of the chart. The only, question that you could answer that would put this chart maybe in very, very shaky territory is if you're answering the question that the price is down below that level right there. And then train wreck territory would be if somehow you're answering the question that the price is down below that level right there at 52,600, but I highly doubt that's going to be the case. But all in all, got the breakout of that trend line, but now it's all about, can the price actually get above that level and stay above it? So we'll see what happens. But if you ask yourself those questions, that'll keep this analysis relevant for as long as possible. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a crypto and Bitcoin trader to go get signed up for this free class, because what you're learning about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So like I said, it'll be this evening, Thursday, September 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely go get signed up. But if you can't make it live, then again, clay@claytrader.com, send me an email, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay. So thanks for watching. Go get signed up for that free class, and have a good one.